John from the company Adapa in Denmark, and I'm the Chief Sales Officer. We are selling a machine that we have manufactured for several years that do curved surfaces. So it's a robotic, reconfigurable mold that are used instead of one-off molds. You know, it works just like one-off molds, other than you can use it again and again because it generates a shape based on the 3D file that you're doing. So it's a machine that goes up and down into different curvatures, into different geometries, and it's operated by the 3D file that you create in the CAD system.
So can you give me an example of the type of parts you would make on this kind of system?
Yeah, it's a large variety. So it falls within both architecture and also industries such as aerospace, automotive, shipyards, and so on. So wherever there is a curve, there is a potential use of our adaptive mold if you do casting, thermoforming, infusion, and so on. And we do actually make molds for both composites, but also for concrete. So we have a large span of adaptive molds for different applications.
Now I know the mold that you have on in here is fairly small, but the molds that you make for production are probably in a range of sizes?
Yeah, you know, they go up from this small size to something like 10 by 10 meters.
Wow.
So yeah, and they are all pretty simple to operate. This one is operated by a tablet, and you just choose the 3D file that you want to do, the shape, and press start. And then it goes up into the desired shape, and you can start casting or shaping on top of the mold.
So you can do infusion on this surface. And what is the top surface, the membrane?
The top surface here is a silicone composite membrane. It is ferromagnetic. It lies upon a layer of magnets.
Okay.
The magnets keep the membrane down into the curved shape, and the magnets are placed on a rod system. The rod system sits on actuators that are positioned by electrical stepper motors. And the electrical stepper motors just do what the control unit tells them to do based on the 3D file. So there's no programming. Compared to one-off molding, everything here is reused. Compared to CNC milling, you know, you don't have to wait for the CNC milling machine to do a surface, and you don't have to program this. It's based on the same 3D file as the designer or architect are using.
Now I know they've been using the system to thermoform cores as well.
Yeah, it has been used to thermoform core materials for boats, ships, sail ships, and that has reduced the weight by 15% and perhaps even more, and that also reduces the resin use. Instead of using pre-cut core materials, you do thermoforming, shape it on top of our mold, and then gains the weight reduction. So quite brilliant, and see more and more shipyards that have the interest of that use.
Is it hard to learn how to use the system?
You know, I'm here on a booth with Metix USA, and they are a composite manufacturer, and the CEO learned it in 5 minutes. So that, you know, that means that it's pretty easy.